Welcome to our video series on offering instant software downloads to your visitors. In this video, we'll show you how to actually create your ebook software. In this video, I'm going to talk you through a step-by-step example of taking some JavaScript code, adding it to web pages, and turning those web pages into an ebook, literally within the next 10 or 15 minutes or so. So, of course, you'd have your own unique JavaScript code created. But in this example, I'm just going to borrow some code from one of the websites that make JavaScript code available. And of course, all of this code is copyrighted, but this is purely for demonstration purposes. So let's take a look. New scripts. Let's try this area of the website. And scroll down. I'm going to look through these to try to find the most appropriate one. Okay, I'm going to choose this one. It's a game called Arrange. So let's click it. And I want the source code, which is here. So first of all, I need to create a new blank text document. Okay, I've opened up Notepad with a blank document. So let's first create the bare bones of a web page, of an HTML document. So HTML at the start, closing HTML tag at the end, the head section, close the head section, and the body section, and close the body section. There we go. There are the bare bones of an HTML document. Okay, so back to the code. And of course, with your own JavaScript code, it's useful to understand the structure of web pages and where code goes and how to add it to your web pages. And actually, let me just open up a new web page very quickly. A good reference for learning the structure of HTML pages and how to add scripts is, for starters, htmldog.com. It has a very good tutorial and is a very good reference. For example, reference HTML tags here. And if we scroll down, script and script tag. You may want to read this for some information on the correct use of this tag. And there's an example. Another very good reference is htmlref.com. And there's a very detailed reference here on HTML tags. Again, we want the script tag. So there's information on how to use it. So you should find this a good reference, as well as dealing with your programmer directly, just so you're putting the JavaScript code in the correct place in your web pages so it all works fine. So back to the code, and in this case you can see there are instructions. Copying the coding into the head of your HTML document, add the onload event handler into the body tag, and put the last coding into the body. Okay, step 1. Paste this code into the head. So there's the head tag. I don't need to copy that because I already have a head tag. So let's copy this. Scroll down. And okay, there's a closing head tag. So just click here, and I've selected all this. So right-click, copy, back to Notepad, and in the head section here, edit, paste. Let me maximize this. So there's the head section, and there's the instruction. I don't need the instruction, so I select and delete those. Actually, I need to get rid of this as well. I shouldn't have pasted that in. So I want to get rid of this, and this, and okay, there we go. So let's keep scrolling down, and that's all fine. So that's all done. Back to the browser, and let's scroll down, and step 2, insert the onload event handler into your body tag. So that's the body tag, and that's the handler. And what they mean by a handler is, it's called the JavaScript code, because JavaScript by itself, when you add JavaScript to your web page, it doesn't do anything by itself. You have to call it. And by calling it, I mean you have to tell the web browser to start using the code. And one way to start using JavaScript code is this way, to use an event handler. So when something happens, the JavaScript code starts running, starts being actioned. And in this case, onload equals, which basically means when the document loads, automatically run this piece of code here. So let's copy this, right-click Copy, back to Notepad, and there's the body tag. So space, edit paste, and there we go. So back to the code. Step 3, copying this into the body of the document. So we want to start here with the script tag and scroll down. And actually, it's a long way to scroll, so I'm going to quickly zip down. Okay, and there we go, right to the end here. So click, and that's all selected. Right-click Copy, back to Notepad, in the body section now, between the opening body tag and the closing body tag, edit, paste, and there's all the JavaScript code. So that should be it. I'm going to File, Save, and to the desktop. I'm going to change this file. Files is type. I'm going to change it to all files, because if you leave this as text documents, it adds .txt at the end, and I don't want that. I want it to be called index.html. And remember, index.html is the first file the ebook compiler software looks for when you open the ebook. So this is basically the front page of the ebook. Save. Okay, so I'm going to close Notepad. And let's resize this a little, resize the browser. And just as a test, before I actually compile this web page into an ebook, I'm just going to drag it into my browser, just to check whether it works. And it seems to be okay. That's good. So I can close the browser. Okay, I've closed the browser and I've opened up the ebook compiler software. So File, New Project. So quickly add the information. Ebook info, double-click, and title of the ebook. Let's just say a JavaScript game. Publisher, Louis Allport. Copyright 2006, Louis Allport. Author, Louis Allport. And I can leave the others blank because these are optional. Okay, security. Double-click anywhere. Allow users to print? No. Allow users to copy? No. Password protection system? Not this time. Okay, expiry expires never. That's fine. Icon, double-click. Okay, this always takes a little while to load because it tries to find a lot of images to use. Okay, this should open up any moment. Okay. The default is this icon, which I think is fine, or you can choose from a large number. For example, this is a money selection, but let's cancel that. Startup, double-click, startup message, no. Default window size of the ebook. Let's say maximized, which means full screen. Generally, you want your ebook at full screen size. Do I want a splash screen? That's a graphic that appears while the ebook is loading. Let's say no. So delete this. Okay that. User interface. As this is a demo ebook, I'm not going to go through all these options. Let's just leave them as default. System pages. Let's leave these as default too. Add-ins. I generally don't make any changes here. Let's double-click and let's just leave that. Cancel. Files. Okay, we need to add some files. Edit, scan folder. Okay, edit, scan folder, go to the desktop, and actually that's it. We just want to go to the desktop. No subfolders in this instance. Okay, that's not great. Let's try again. Okay, for some reason, it's added all these extra files which are not usable at all in this instance. So I'm going to minimize the ebook compiler software. And I've created a folder called ebook on the desktop, and I'm going to drag my web page with the JavaScript code into that folder to move it there. Double-click, and there it is. Okay. Back to the ebook software. Edit, scan folder, and this time I want to go to the desktop. And then off the desktop is the subfolder ebook. Okay. And it just has the one file there, the one web page with the JavaScript code. And since it's the only file and would also be the front page of the ebook, it has to be called index.html. So next tab, active variables. Not at this time. Output. Double-click. Okay, choose where the ebook gets created. Browse. Okay, on the desktop. Actually, let's put the compiled ebook into the ebook folder. And let's call it demo. And automatically, the .exe gets added to the end, so it becomes demo.exe. And a .exe file means when you click it, it automatically starts up. Save, and OK. So now I can save this project, or I can file save, and on the desktop, let's put it in the ebook folder, and let's call it project. Save that, and let's build. Build menu, and build. Done. So let's minimize this, go into the ebook folder. Let's change the view slightly so it's clearer. And there's our project, our ebook compiler project file. There's our ebook, and there's our web page. If I double-click this, the ebook I've just created, there we go. So by creating the bare bones of a web page and then adding JavaScript in this way, and making sure the JavaScript runs with what's known as an event handler, which basically tells the browser, or the ebook in this case, to run the code to do what the JavaScript code says, then this is what appears. This is what the code creates. And honestly, I don't know how to play this game. Let's just press Start and see what happens. Okay, I'm not entirely sure what you're meant to do here, but anyway, it seems to be working. So let's close this, File Exit. So that's how quickly you can actually create, how you can actually turn JavaScript code that either you've written yourself or someone else has written for you, or you've perhaps purchased the rights to, how quickly you can turn that into an ebook, or an ebook that contains software that you can successfully sell.